Hello beautiful people, Stephanie here, and today we're taking a look at ML whistles, or whistles made by Mathieu Levergne. He is a French whistle maker, and he sent me essentially his prototype almost a year ago, I would say, maybe even longer. And he's finally got around to creating a website and actually selling his instruments online. So today we're going to take a look at the prototype, which is very similar to a lot of the finalized whistles that are now on his site. I'll give you an idea of how it sounds when it's played without any effects. We'll do a tuning test like we usually do, and we'll check the volume as well. And yeah, we'll get to know these exciting whistles that are new to the market. So we'll start by taking a close-up look at the tin whistle body. You can see it's all very nicely finished, and it is a tunable whistle. The main body is made from aluminium, and we actually have a Delrin tuning slide here. And the updated versions actually have enough space to add some plumber's tape here, which stops the whistle moving around. But in all honesty, I've never had any problem with this whistle. Everything is nice and securely fastened. The mouthpiece at the top here is also Delrin. You'll see it's a similar design to other whistles you'll be familiar with, but it's quite a comfortable mouthpiece. And the aluminium means this whistle is lightweight. It's got a nice matte sort of shine to it, if that makes any sense. It's not polished, but it is quite nice and shiny. And on this version, I have a few rings on the bottom as well. It's a straight bore whistle, as I said, tunable. Pretty simple, but it's quite aesthetically pleasing. So let's take a look at the tuning. I'm using the Sound Corset Tuner and Metronome app, and I'm not sure how accurate this is for wind instruments, but in general, it gives a nice baseline across all my videos because I always use this app when I'm testing the tuning. So as you can see from the initial tuning test, I did open the tuning slide slightly, but we're not bad on tuning. There's not a lot of effort that you need to put in to get to perfect tuning, which is great. And that's kind of even across both octaves, which I really like. It comes quite naturally at the general standard level of volume, I think, and pressure that you put into the whistle. So that's quite impressive. I did need to add an extra finger to get the C natural to sound a little bit more in tune. But again, once the whistle is maybe warmed up a little bit more, and depending on the weather and the environment that you're in, just be aware that you might need to add additional fingers. Of course, there's always the option to half hole, which usually gives more accurate tuning than cross fingering. So let's take a little look at the volume and see where we are on the decibel scale. So we're not doing too badly on volume. As always, the second octave is a little bit on the louder side. That's pretty much standard with any tin whistle and low whistle. It will let you play around a lot with the amount of breath you can put in before those notes break into the second octave. So dynamics on this whistle are pretty easy because you can control the breath pressure that you're putting in. It isn't difficult to hit the second octave notes either though, so that little extra push, there's not a lot of breath required for this whistle. It's more of a push factor, so it's a higher back pressure, if you will. This whistle doesn't leave you hungry for air or feeling like it's using a lot of air. Whistles like this are actually my preference when it comes to the way that they handle air. So I prefer a whistle that needs less air but more push. Whereas a lot of people enjoy the openness of using larger breaths and putting a lot more air through the whistle, and they feel more control with that. So if you prefer a higher back pressure whistle that does require that more push side to it rather than breath, then yeah, I think you'll like this one. If you prefer that more open feel, able to put a lot of air into the whistle, then it might not be as good for you. So let's take a listen to how this sounds. Just the raw whistle, no effects, and playing a few different tunes. So if you're interested to learn either of those two tunes, the first one was Portsmouth by Mike Oldfield, and the second one was Cuchulainn, which is by Ron Korb. I do have tutorials for both of those linked in the description down below. They came out last week. But as you can hear, this whistle is able to handle whatever you throw at it. So whether it's slow and expressive tunes, or whether it's something lively and upbeat, it handles the changing of octaves well, it handles ornamentation well, it handles half holes well. It takes a little bit of getting used to in certain parts, as all whistles do, but yeah, it's a really nice sounding little whistle. Sometimes aluminium whistles I find are a little bit on the shrill or harsh sound. This one actually has a bit of a warmer sound to it, which I like. But it does have a nice level of volume, a nice level of chiff. It does have that little sharpness that will cut through if you're using this at a session. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Now, I have linked the Mathieu Le Venu website in the description down below. There are some with the Delrin tuning slide and there are some with a brass tuning slide. I think they're offering D, C, B flat and A in the high whistles, and also low whistles in the key of G and C at the moment. Prices range from about 80 to 100 euros at the moment, and I don't think you can complain with what you get for that sort of money. If you'd like to find out more, as I said, the website's in the description down below. This isn't an affiliate link. I'm not making any money from this. I don't have any reason to say good things about these whistles other than I actually like them. So yeah, if you think you might want to try them, go check them out. That is it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget that I have reviews for hundreds of whistles on this channel at this point. You will find my playlist of all my different reviews linked in the description down below as well, and on screen in a few moments' time. But these whistles, I think, are only available on the Whistle Maker's website. They're not for sale anywhere else at the moment. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. If you would like to do my channel a huge favour, please hit that big thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out. And of course, if you comment, that is incredible as well. Yeah, don't forget to check out those two tunes that I mentioned, and of course my playlist as well. Have a fantastic week. Thanks again for watching. Happy whistling, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.